Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is Sunday, November 30th, about 7:45 p.m., and we just watched probably the worst half of football from the Pittsburgh Steelers all year in a game where they get totally embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills. Final score of 26-7. A lot to talk about, but not much to talk about at the same time with the way they've been playing. They're just an awful loss. So they're now 6-6. Give the division back to the Ravens, at least for now. They do play them next week, 1 o'clock. Lee, go off. Go off.
This team sucks. They're terrible. This is probably the worst in my lifetime that I've seen. Probably yours and everyone else's lifetime we've seen the Steelers. I mean, I don't even know what is going on. There's nothing they can do just at any aspect of the play or the game at all. I mean, this team, they love to make history in the wrong way. They always allow other teams to come in or where they play against another team to beat them some type of way statistically and to make NFL history every week, it seems, at this point now. I mean, I don't know what is going on. The standard is the standard. That's what it is. I'm at a point now where you had talked about it. I don't know if it was last week or the week prior, one of our prior podcasts where you said that there was an unknown coach that is kind of ready for a change and scenery and type of thing. And just seeing Mike Tomlin these last 2 weeks, especially where they showed him on the sideline today and in that Bears game, he looks like he's checked out. You know what I mean? It just does not look like he is even there anymore. It looks like he's it's almost like he's about done too, you know, and he's getting fed up with the reporters. We can tell by his press conferences how he's answering questions lately. I mean, and I understand he's frustrated with how the team has been going, but it almost just seems like he's checked out. Like I said, I think he's about done with this team. I think he's about ready to move on. I really think that regardless of what happens at the end of this season, he might be the unknown coach that's ready to move on.
So yeah, first message here is clean health, and then another one here. Tomlin has to go. You guys are right. This might not be the worst team of our lifetimes. I don't think that's fair, but this is the worst position that this team has been in our lifetimes for sure.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
And it's all because of like they've been in purgatory for the last 10, feels like 10 years. It's been a little less than that. But every single player on this team that has any skill is old. Yeah. It feels like they have so many holes in other places like that. It just to consistently run out this receiving core is a joke to any franchise. From there, I don't know where you want to go. We're still in lines. I had to get it out there for him. Shout out Ben. But yeah, they're just in a bad spot, and I don't know what you can say to anything else other than that. I mean, there's so many different things wrong with this team. They have so much money wrapped up in old players. They have a coach that looks like he's halfway out the door. I just don't know where you go from here. And they're tied for first place in the division, and they're not going to get a good draft pick again. They're going to end up going 9-8, 8-9 down the stretch here. I know we're all doom and gloom, but they'll find a way to win at least 2 more games. In this final stretch here. They possibly win 3. I've been joking about the Bengals winning the division. I think it's very possible
for them to win out.
They do play the Bills, but other than the Bills, they have a pretty easy schedule down the stretch, and I don't see the Ravens or the Steelers doing too well down here either. So if the Steelers go 3-2, I don't know how the tiebreakers are going to work out because they split with the Bengals, but it's possible if both teams are 9-8 that the Steelers don't make the playoffs, and they don't deserve it after the way they've been playing. It's just all over the board. This game, stat-wise, Aaron Rodgers, 10 of 21 for 117. Jaylen Warren, 10 carries, 35 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 5 carries, 20 yards. Darnell Washington, the leading receiver with 45 yards and 2 catches. DK Metcalf, 32 and 3. Kenneth Gainwell, 25 and 2. Just embarrassing. Embarrassing performance. I think it was 90 yards through 3 quarters is what it was.
That's what it was.
Outpaced. They were outpaced like I think they had 3 yards in the third quarter total, or was it -3? One of the two. It just was. I don't know. If you want to go over the stats for it?
Yeah, I got you. So again, final score: Bills 27 over the Steelers. Bills 26 to the Steelers 7. It's the final score. Steelers dropped to 6-6, like you said. Total yards: Bills had 372 total yards to the Steelers 166. Pass yards: Bills had 123 pass yards to the Steelers 108. Rush yards: this is fucking disgusting. Bills had 249 total rushing yards, which they said, I think, in one of the graphics that they had made, that the Bills twice now, since 75, where they put up a whole bunch of yards on the Steelers, and they beat the record today that they beat the Bills back in 1975, where they played the Steelers at home here in Pittsburgh and gave up 249 rush yards. So they made history again against the Steelers, here in Pittsburgh, running on us. Steelers only had 58 rush yards total. Yards per play: Bills 5 yards per play to the Steelers 3.9. First downs: Bills had 26 first downs to the Steelers 10. Third down efficiency: Bills were 8 for 15 from third down to the Steelers 3 for 9. Fourth down efficiencies: the Bills went 2 for 2 and the Steelers were 0 for 1. Total plays: Bills had 74 total plays. 74 total plays to the Steelers 43 total plays.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. The Bills had sacked the Steelers. They got 1 sack against the Steelers. Steelers did not get any sacks. Although there was some pressure that could have been sacks, they just could not make any plays. Steelers had 0 sacks. Here's the one demographic the Steelers did lead in. They had more punts in the game, with 4 to the Bills 2.
There we go.
Penalty yards: Bills had 7 penalties for 45 yards to the Steelers 5 for 67 yards. Each team had 2 turnovers each, 1 fumble and 1 interception, which I'll let you go through the gameplay when it gets to, but there was a lot of turning point at that point. Here's the fucking killer right here. Ready for this? Time of possession.
Yep. I've been staring at it for this whole time.
Bills 41 minutes and 59 seconds. I don't know if I've ever seen that from a team.
It's
the Steelers
comical.
18 minutes and 1 second. The Bills went 2 for 2 on field goals. The Steelers did not attempt any field goals in this game, and the red zone attempts were 50% each. Bills were 2 for 4, and the Steelers were 1 for 2 in the red zone. But to give up 42 minutes of time possession is insane.
That jumps out. The 4 times as many rush yards that jumps out. And you got to remember, this is a team. The Buffalo Bills, both their tackles are out.
Yeah,
they have 2 guys on the line that are out, and they decide, you know what, we're just going to run the ball up the middle.
Yes,
we're just physically tougher than this opposing team.
Yeah.
We know that we have more fight than they do. We're gonna get 26 first downs to their 10 first downs. This is what you see on like a college. This is like what these stats are: a college game where you have a Power 4 team going up against a group of 5 or like a subdivision. This is just. This is bad. This is
bad,
embarrassing, and it wasn't. I wasn't even looking at these stats to see how bad it was. But I do have Mike Tomlin ready to go. So let's pull up Tomlin and see what he has to say.
Here we go
for this game.
Yeah,
it'll be fun watching.
Oh, can't wait.
Not a lot needs to be said, man. That's an awful performance by us. But it's us. We didn't do a lot well tonight, obviously. We didn't possess the ball or maintain ball security on offense. We were highly penalized. We allowed those guys to run the ball. Didn't play 60 minutes of action, didn't play complimentary football. And so we got to absorb that result. We're certainly not going to feel sorry for ourselves. That's this business we're in. Had some injuries. Pat Queen had a contusion. He wasn't able to run. And so he wasn't allowed to come back into the game. James Pierre was in the concussion protocol. questions.
Hey, the opening remarks from Mike Tomlin there. Nothing you wouldn't expect him to say. It's just the same old, same old. I don't know if you want to take anything away from that.
He said there was only a few things. Well, something about like there weren't too many things we've done well. There wasn't anything they did well. Yeah. I don't want to hear it.
There's nothing they did well this game.
There was nothing they did well in this game. Not at all. Nothing at all.
That you can pinpoint or explain some of the second half issues you've had this season?
Not putting together 60 minutes of action. Certainly, they're tangible things, things that you and I both see, but we better look at it hard, because it's usually something beneath the surface that's producing that, particularly in the consistency in which is occurring. That third quarter was awful. It was awful last week, and so we got to absorb the responsibility of that.
Game 12 isn't let's find answers. You're paid to have this figured out by now. This is when teams that are good are finding out how they're going to make it into the playoffs and how they're going to win in the playoffs. We've gone on years and years now where we don't know what's going on with this team at this point in the season. Even when they had that long streak of wins, by this time they were on a losing streak, and they couldn't figure it out once again. This is a team that has no future. And there's no present either, apparently.
No, there's nothing there. And I don't know how many times you can remember so far this season. I don't have the exact number, but the Steelers have gone into the lead multiple times in this season with a lead and still have come out losing and get blown out in the second half. I mean, I think they said that this was like the 61st or 62nd consecutive game where the Steelers have scored 7 points or less in a half or a first quarter or something, and it's just continuing to happen to where, they can take a little bit of a lead, regardless if it was, 4 points or whatever. They had a lead and they had a little bit of momentum going into the second half, and then it just breaks down. It's like, I don't know if they go into the locker room at halftime and they're just like, don't even fucking play anymore. It's what it seems like is going on, And I don't know what it is, but there's nothing, like you said, there's nothing going forward with this team.
And you're not going to get anything from him either. Tomlin's just going to tell you, we're going to play 60 minutes. There's not going to be any actual thoughts, anything that shows you that he knows where they need to go with and anything like that. He mentioned there being tangible things, but when you hear him talk about anything tangible, it's all the Tomlinisms. And when you're winning, fine, you can have fun with the Tomlinisms.
Yeah.
But it gets old. The crowd was tired of it today for sure. Let's keep going. Maybe they talk about that later on.
This is the third time you guys have led at halftime and then allowed another team to win. What do you guys as a coaching staff have to do better when other teams are adjusting to what you guys do?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. We didn't play a good half of football. We turned the ball over. It produced scores, and there's nothing mystical about that. It was really similar to last week.
Offensively, are you avoiding passing over the middle of the field? If not, how to explain so little production there?
It's just not enough production. We're not going to make excuses for it.
No excuses, no answers is the Tomlin way at this point. That's the Steeler way at this point. No excuses, no answers. But that's been a thing you've been bugging about for a long while. What are your thoughts? Both defensively giving it up and offensively not doing it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there's no productivity over the middle of the field. Defensively, the Bills ran up the middle so much today, and there were so many gaps from the offensive line from the Bills, with them even having players out, like you had mentioned, and with their center even being hurt at one point they were talking about during the game. And they were still able to run the ball right down the gut of the Steelers defense, right up the middle, and be able to do anything. Offensive side, we don't see the ball getting thrown. It's these short out routes, these 2-yard slants, these little screens, things like that are nothing, that are not producing anything for the ball to be moving forward down the field at all. The offensive play sucks.
And it's a long time thing. This isn't just an Arthur Smith thing. It was under Canada. We even thought it was a Kenny Pickett in Canada problem for a while. Now we're going Pickett, Rudolph, Wilson, Fields, Rodgers. None of them are doing it.
It's the same thing.
You can't figure out. I don't know. I don't have an answer for it.
And
it's just something that's just not happening for them.
yeah, and the question prior, the reporter had asked, like, he had said this is the third game now that they've gone in leading.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, there's nothing going on with the second half of these games. I don't know what it is. Like we had talked about it weeks ago in that game against the Packers, and you had brought up with Ben Roethlisberger's clip. He had said, I don't know what's being said in the locker room at halftime, but nothing is changing there. It's just what it is. I just don't get it.
Yep.
Why wasn't a package for Darnell Washington used earlier than starting in the fourth quarter? And two, it seems the schematic for Coach Smith is not really beyond 10 yards because of the passing. I know I'm a layman, but I'm interested in that.
All of those questions are reasonable given what we put out there. We got a lot of work in front of us.
Issues that were popping up in the run.
Just no answers. No
Nothing.
answers. And
Nothing.
not even like this is like someone who's trying to get on for the day. He's ready for the nightcap. He's ready to go home, get himself a nightcap and head to bed.
No answer.
It's
I mean,
just-
that lady asked legit questions. She asked legit questions. What is Arthur Smith doing? Why is his play like this? No answer. Nothing.
Yeah. Here's one of the comments. He's very short, and I'm assuming he's talking about Tomlin's answers. Yeah, every answer is right to the point, no depth in anything he's trying to say. Yeah, it's bad right now. Here's a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think he has a few more questions. This one I think is about the run game.
Lack of physicality, and how do you fix that at this point in the season?
I thought it just, was as it wore on, the attrition component of it became a factor. I'm not going to say too much tonight. I'll take a look at the tape, but certainly it was below the line and increasingly so.
How much did Derek Harmon's absence impact you stopping the run?
Whenever you're missing people, it's impactful.
What happened to next man up?
Yeah.
The standard is the standard. Everything.
Yeah.
Like that. This team is just not built to win. That's just all it is to it.
Highest paid defense. Next man up. Standard is a standard.
This is what
Ain't
happens
nothing
when a
going
team
on.
gets old. This is what happens when a team gets old.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do other than say that. Defensively, they got names, but they don't have that talent that they had when they were younger.
And for him to not, for him to give an answer like, I'm not going to say anything about it tonight. I'll watch the tape. It's like, you were just out there watching the product that was given to you. You can't come up with an answer. You're just not going to say anything. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Here we go for a little bit longer.
Solutions to turn this thing around exist in your building?
Certainly.
What gives you the confidence that they do?
Keep watching.
Only 58 yards rushing today. So what do you have to do to be effective game in and game out with running the ball?
We got to win possession downs. We got to maintain possession of it. We can't turn the ball over. It'll produce more snaps for us. If we do that, man, we'll probably have more than 58 or whatever it is that you mentioned.
Seemed like you guys kept your safeties back more to stop the pass, and that worked early. But what did you guys need to do with the guys up front to stop the run from doing that?
We had an appropriate safety allocation relative to the run. We did.
Was the offense limited by Aaron's wrist?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't.
A number of games where other teams had backups in on the offense.
You want to go on?
What the fuck? What do you mean it doesn't matter? The man has 3 fractures in his fucking left wrist, hand, arm, and you're going to tell me that the offense not being limited wasn't a factor? Is he not out there? He's not out there. I don't think he's out there.
He's ready to go. Look at the pause, the face I paused on. Look at that face.
I don't.
You seen Tomlin look like that? He's done. He's done.
He's done. He's done.
done.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
Look at that. Oh man.
Wow.
Offensive line and your defensive front hasn't seemed to be able to take advantage of that. Why do you think that is?
Good question. I don't have the answer to it. I know that they weren't in a whole bunch of one-dimensional passing circumstances today, and that's usually where the backup game shows.
If I told you he was about to cry, we
Yeah.
didn't know who Mike Tomlin was, would you think that this man is about to cry? Look at him.
Yeah. He's a defeated man. He's defeated.
Oh man.
Game plan or personnel changes offensively?
I'm looking at everything.
But also the time of possession. Isn't that critical for your defense to get a little rest in terms of that as well?
That's what I was talking about when I referred to the attrition component of it.
Mike, who do you guys counter teams that kind of commit to the run the way the Bills did? It seemed like a lot of the runs that you guys running, you were running it into the teeth of them.
I'm sorry?
You guys counter when teams are doing are committing to stop the run the way the Bills did. It seemed like a lot of plays they were just charging forward.
Run it, pass it, man. We just weren't successful enough today, man, to sustain any type of ball control or produce enough points to be functional today, and that's just the reality of it.
Right, did you have a sense for how restless and frustrated the crowd was today?
I know how restless and frustrated I was, and so I assume they were in the same state we were in.
Did you have any?
A couple of big splash plays against you early in the third quarter, still a lot of game ahead. Do you feel like you weren't able to find an emotional response to that in addition to the on the field stuff?
Forget the emotional response, man. We didn't produce plays, we didn't produce enough plays to put the fire out.
Couple more. What goes through your mind when the crowd chanting to fire you in your home stadium?
Man, I share their frustration tonight, man. We didn't do enough. And that's just the reality of it.
That is his best answer, but I'd give the media's going at him, even with his short
they
answers.
are.
They're not letting up this time around, which is nice to see from them at least.
What?
I was gonna go this one first, but what an ass from Ben. But here's one from Jim Thome here. He doesn't care. Their coach went in the locker room at halftime losing and came out and kicked our ass. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
That's what happened. Where's his fight?
Nothing. He's not. Listen to the answer to that question. I liked it, but there's no ego there. There's no confidence at all.
Coach, AFC North is everything for you to win it is still in front of you. So what do you have to do to keep this team or to get this team going to win some games to possibly win the AFC?
I'm not big picture oriented tonight. I'm just talking about what we did or didn't, more importantly, did not do tonight. Certainly, we understand where we are and the opportunity that's in front of us from a divisional standpoint. But that's very secondary as we sit here tonight, man. We had a poor performance, and that's where our energy is and should be in terms of the analysis of this. All right?
He doesn't care. He don't care.
You got me still, right? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah,
Okay,
he don't care.
Yeah, I that's where I would have liked him to be like, hey, you're right. We have everything in front of us. We're going to do what we need to do in this division. We're going to win this title, and we're going to try to make some noise in the playoffs. Instead, we're worried about the night tonight. No, the whole goal every season is to win the AFC North. It doesn't matter when you're asked that question. You can give an answer about that question, especially after an ass whooping like this. There's no reason that he couldn't have talked about the division unless he doesn't believe that they can win the division. That's just the way I see it. Any last comments about his words?
Again, there just seems that there's no fight with him. And they were asking him about the emotion in the thing, and he's just like, oh, take the emotion out. It's like there's been games where I've seen other coaches, they're yelling at their offensive coordinator, they're yelling at their defensive coordinator on the sideline, and the camera picks it up. And we don't see Mike Tomlin do that at all. You see other coaches going over and talk to their players and doing this and that. We don't get to see that with Mike Tomlin. The only thing we're seeing is him standing there just checked out, not even there. He's not there emotionally. He's just standing there with this blanket stare and look on his face every time the camera's on him. There's nothing there with him. And I don't know why he's not, doing that with his coaches like other coaches do. You see that all the time in some of these games that are played. But for some reason, Mike Tomlin is, like you said, I think there is no confidence in him. There's no confidence in this team, and he just doesn't see this team moving forward anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's never been an X's and O's guy, and he's usually had leadership throughout the years that, I think he relied on players to do all these things, and they're just the guys they got now aren't up to the task.
Yeah,
he can't overcome it. He cannot overcome it.
Yeah.
You got to hear. You are right, Lee. I know you like to hear that all the time.
Yeah.
So, let me go over the scoring, the drives and everything. The Steelers actually had a strong start on defense in this game. We have to give them some credit on defense.
Yeah.
The Bills had the ball first. They had 7 plays, 35 yards, but on that 7th play, the Steelers are able to get an interception by Brandon Nichols. Steelers cannot do anything with that ball, though. They go 6 plays, 12 yards, punt it out. The Bills then go 7 plays, 35 yards again, but this time they have to punt rather than an interception. Steelers go 3 and out. Then the Bills go 3 and out. Steelers then, as the second quarter the first quarter elapsed, going into the second quarter, they go 5 plays, 13 yards. Then have another punt. Bills get the ball back. They actually fumble on their 6th play. The Steelers do capitalize on this. They go 6 plays, 39 yards to get the touchdown. That ended with Jaylen Warren up the middle, if I'm remembering right. And then the Bills, before the end of the half, they go on a 16 play, 60 yards, 7-minute drive that ends in a field goal. The defense once again stepping up, though. You have to give them some credit there at the end. Steelers get the ball back with 51 seconds. Can't do anything. Go 2 plays, 17 yards. Let the clock run out. And then the shit storm. Well, we'll talk about that for a second. 7-3 at half. You have some hope in this game. The defense is playing great. The offense isn't doing much, but they just do come off of that scoring drive. So you're up 7-3 on a pretty decent Bills team. What were you thinking at this point?
I mean, again, I had picked them to win in our post, podcast to this game. I mean, like you said, there's some hope. They have a lead. The defense is playing pretty decent. They've only held them to 3 points. Of course, the offense really isn't doing much, but the defense is keeping them in this game at this point. And, there is hope that this team could actually maybe come in second half, score a touchdown, go up 2 scores, and be able to maybe hold a little bit of a lead. That was my hope at that point of the game.
Well, the hopes were shattered within 16 seconds. First play of the second half after the kickoff, Steelers fumble the ball on a pretty nasty play for everything for Aaron Rodgers. He gets bloodied on the play. Buffalo recovers it, scores a touchdown. Very next drive, you have Mason Rudolph out there on his 4th play, interception. He scores 10-7. The Bills get the ball back. They go 8 plays, 56 yards, score a touchdown to make it 16-7 due to a missed extra point. Steelers get the ball back, 3 and out, 3 plays, 9 yards. Bills come back one more time to pretty much end the game right there. 15 plays, 83 yards, 8-minute drive to take a 23-7 lead. Steelers come back around, go 10 plays, 57 yards, are forced to turn over on downs. Bills go another 14 plays, 72 yards, 9-minute drive to make it 26-7. Steelers go 3 plays, 3 yards, a minute 7, and final score of 27-7.
Fucking hell.
2 takeaways in the first half was a good point too. Interception and a fumble by the defense. But the second half, I mean, you can shit on the defense, and we are doing that. They could not stop the run, but they were put in an awful spot by this offense. The Steelers offense played miserable. You can't excuse it. This is the word of the day. It's been a joke for sure. I don't know where we're going from here.
I don't know. I will say this.
You go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I will say this. I thought when he took that hit in that first play of the third quarter, I thought he broke some more bones in his hand. I thought because he was just down. Yeah. And I thought his nose was broken when I saw the blood. I'm thinking, oh, this guy's done for, for the rest of the game. Maybe even the rest of the season at that point.
So I'm not at this point because the division is still up, and I don't have faith in Will Howard. But this is a comment I skipped earlier, was put the rookie in, talking about Will Howard. Yeah. And then it comes along with the idea of what could be worse. I'm not there yet. I think that Rodgers isn't the issue. There's a lot of issues on this team. Yeah. And I feel like the division is still alive, at least at this point. You're playing Ravens next week. You can't throw Will Howard out that week. If you put Rodgers in, Rodgers wins. You're back in the division lead. You have the tiebreaker for now, at least. Mm-hmm. But in reality, this is the best case for this team, is to lose out and clean house.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to be that easy. I do think that purgatory is still going to be where the Steelers lie as we go forward. And we're going to have a lot of questions next year. Who knows who will be the quarterback next year? I don't think it'll be Will Howard. I think they're going to have to draft somebody in the first round. And there's enough names. It's not going to be a situation with Kenny Pickett where maybe you didn't think he was a first rounder, but you had to get him there. Yeah, they just got to do something, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you. I think the best option, like you said, would be to, like it says right there, lose out and clean house. But like you said, I don't think that's going to happen. The division is still open, like you said. I can see them winning the division, getting a wild card. Game.
Wild card's gone. No, they're not going to win a wild card.
Oh no, they're not going to win. I mean, they'll get there, but they're not.
Oh, wild card game. My bad. Yeah.
They'll get there. They'll get to the game, and then that'll be that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And so, I mean, they play the Ravens twice and the Browns one more time, so they have a chance to win the division. I mean, we're playing the Ravens next week. We're both sitting at 6-6 right now, so I mean, it's going to be one of those tough games. But I mean, if they go into Baltimore playing like this, might as well just end the season at that point. You know what I mean? If you're going to play like this, that's just what it is.
If Marino's got grandkids, we don't know about him, and he doesn't know about them either. Some do say that Mason Heinzel looks a little like Marino with his hairs and his recruiting picks, but
Oh, the other thing that you said that the Steelers need to draft a quarterback in the first round. If Mike Tomlin's still there, that's not going to happen. He's going to go defense because that's just who he is.
Yeah, I mean, who knows for sure? They've got offense in the first round. Under Tomlin. I just the bigger issue. I thought the way you thought you were going to go is wouldn't matter because they can't develop the guy the proper way. Under Tomlin, and I would not trust Arthur Smith to teach anyone how to be a quarterback.
Terrell Austin needs to be fired.
Terrell Austin should not make it to next week. No. You give up a record number of rushing yards at home. It's time to go. It's been time to go. I don't know exactly what he does.
I don't know either.
It hasn't been impressive, no matter which way you want to spin it, and you can see.
And the Bills, and they showed it. I think it was one of the stats that the commentators had talked about. Like the Bills ran like the same type of run play multiple times throughout that game that they showed, and the Steelers just could not stop it at all. They're running the same play. And what is Terrell Austin doing? Like you said, what does he do? They're running the same play and there's nothing going on.
Yeah. That's all I got for tonight. Miserable game. Season's becoming miserable.
Yeah.
They gotta find a way to figure it out. It just, for me, there's no light at the end of the tunnel for this franchise right now. And it's sad to say. But that's all I got, Lee. You got anything?
None at all. Yep, none at all.
Got one more comment coming at the end.
I'll see you. No, I'll see you.
Looks like Marino's son talking about Mason Heinzel.
Looks like Marino.
But yeah, that's all I got. Embarrassing loss. Next week we got the Ravens. 1 o'clock. We'll see you for that game.
1 o'clock. We'll see you.